Vintage hats, shirts, golf gear supreme. Raiders of resale, living the dream. From whatnot to eBay, we score the loot. Vintage finds in every pursuit. Tips to cash in, stories so grand. Reselling Raiders, rulers of the land. Reselling Raiders, treasure we chase. Hat house fired up, coaching the race. Vintage hat shirts, golf gear supreme. Raiders of resale, living the dream.
Hey, everybody.
Boom.
Welcome back to the Raiders of Reselling podcast live from the Hat House. I'm Hat House, joined by Coach Porch and Fired Up Finds. Tonight, we're going to deep dive into bolo time. We're definitely going to check out some great bolos out there from all over the reselling world, not just hats. We're going to look at, we got jackets, we got golf clubs, we got about everything that we're going to look into, even maybe a little hint into the other eBay store that I started and how things are going over there. But I got to shout out everyone that's listening all over the world right now. Anywhere you can get your podcast, make sure you download it there, whether it's Apple, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, any place you can download it. We appreciate you downloading there. And we got our first 5-star review, fellas. Really
Nice.
want to shout out Collab Closet left us an awesome review of 5 stars. Really appreciate that. If you're out there in the podcast land, that is the best way to support us, is leave us 5 stars, leave us a review. We really appreciate that, and keeps us coming back each week and sharing our whatnot journeys and our eBay journeys. So really appreciate that. Supposedly we got even a new sponsor this week. Who has been your favorite sponsor so far? Let us know down in the chat. Who's been your favorite sponsor of the Reselling Raiders so far? Personally, I would say the hemorrhoid cream. I think they're definitely maybe number 1, maybe number 2. What do you guys think?
I pulled the big. I'm a little partial to Cox.
What? Cox was good too. Cox knocked it out. They were a good one.
Hey,
but Coach has got our live read tonight and our new sponsor.
I do. And if you're ready, I want to know if you're tired of boring, clean, normal rest stops. Hey, if you are, come on down to south of the border. America's favorite pastel fever dream, just south of sanity and dignity. We got giant sombreros, neon animals, enough billboards to haunt your road trip for 200 miles. Craving overpriced fireworks, questionable tacos, bathrooms at time forgot? Hey, we've got all that plus Pedro, your vaguely problematic tour guide to Kichi heaven. South of the border, because why just stretch your legs when you can also stretch your suspension or disbelief? Exit now or regret missing the world's most gloriously weird pit stop forever.
South of the border is that so good, dude?
What is?
Never thought about that.
We don't have a south of the border. Is that
everybody has the same south of the border? You just got to go down 95 here on the East Coast. To get
you got to go down 95. He's not lying. You literally will get a south of the border billboard from like the middle of Georgia or so. I mean, it's like hundreds of miles. And on top of that, when you're driving either north or where's it at? Is it in South Carolina?
I think it's on in North Carolina.
Okay. So when you get there, right, it is this massive compound, huge. And me personally, I've driven by it, a dozen times probably. And I stopped there 2 or 3. And there's never anybody there. But if there's lights, it's the most weird ghost town attraction of all time. It's insane.
So it is a real rest stop.
It's a real place.
Convenience store / Buc-ee's.
It is
But
on the
it's-
border of North
it's
Carolina
huge.
and South Carolina.
It's not even like one. It's not like one store. There's a motel there. There's a restaurant there. There's like it's massive. But nobody's ever there. But the lights are on.
Are the bathrooms
Always.
clean?
I don't know.
Hell no.
That's the south of the border.
That's the beginning of south of the border. That's what you see when you enter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And those
is it
3
like,
cars that are there are the same 3 cars that are always there.
so is it money laundering?
It's got to be. And it's been like that
it's gotta be.
forever.
Nobody
dude.
goes there.
Nobody goes.
Everybody knows what it is.
Yeah.
Kind of like a mattress firm.
Literally. Yeah. I mean, speaking of mattress stores, I can't believe they make any money.
And then there's Pedro.
Yeah, there he is.
That's Pedro.
So we might get in trouble here. So it's probably ran by the cartel. Is
Yes.
what you're telling me.
It has to be. There's no other way. Johnny, what's up, dude? The flipper dude, what's up, guy?
All right. Well, I learned something. I never thought I would learn something from a fake ad read, but I did. So Buc-ee's is definitely still number one.
Oh, like 100%.
Have y'all been? Y'all both been to Buc-ee's, right?
Yeah, my wife and I made trips to Tennessee just to see a Buc-ee's. But I'll tell you what, we're very excited that the one next door in Virginia is going to open up July 4th. It's not but an hour and 10 minutes away.
An hour away from a Buc-ee's. I think we're like 5 hours. We got to go to Texas.
I got one 20 miles south.
Well, that's nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love the beef jerky. That's where it's at.
I love everything. I love going in there and spending an insane amount of money for no reason.
Yes.
But
I mean, you have to.
South of the border has nothing like
South
a
of the
brisket
border
sandwich or
dog ass as dog ass can be, and it's just like a fake real place. Like I don't even get it. I don't even understand it.
It'll be entertaining for everybody listening to go look it up if you've never been.
Yes,
just go look it up. Check out some YouTube videos of it. It is insane.
Yeah, it's
book a room.
And you absolutely need a tetanus shot once you leave.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, they got that. They have that bacteria that will climb your pee stream and eat your wiener.
I think it's a parasite, but okay. I know where you're going.
Well,
I know where you're going.
I mean, one must know.
I've never had the pea stream parasite, but I hear it's bad.
Yeah, I think that's why I have a large tip. Okay, so
And
it's like south of the border. That all ties together.
Thank you. So what's the word, dude? What'd you guys do? Like, what'd you guys do this week? We didn't even talk this week.
Hardly talked.
No,
at all.
I was away on golf vacation.
Oh, did you stroke?
I did. I got my name called about 12 times at the ceremony.
Nice.
So
nice. Did you actually play well, or? Oh,
I just have a shitty handicap. But I did play decent. Play decent.
I mean,
it was
in a while.
Yeah, it was up in Pennsylvania, so it was pretty much like kind of trying and praying for no rain. But the courses were soaking wet, so I think that really kind of evened everybody out.
I hardly talked to y'all either. And fired up, I just happened to log on to Whatnot, and I saw somebody was co-hosting. I didn't even know exactly what it was all about, but you were live from the firehouse. Is that what I got out of all that? And you went down the pole.
Yes.
And I thought you were gonna like strip at the end or something.
Well, I was
and maybe like do a calendar spread with everybody there and then auction that off. I didn't know how far this was going.
It was gonna go pretty far.
Was it?
Yeah.
What was that?
It was just a little too cold inside. So that's why I didn't. But like if it was warm inside though, dude, freaking I'd have done it. Yeah, so like so at the end of last week, we did our shout outs for our shows. And remember I told you guys that it was there's a guy on Whatnot called Camo Slim, and it was his birthday. And like he has I'd say a pretty big following. You know what I mean? He has like 18K followers or something like that. He had at the time of the show when it started, he had like I think 700 bookmarks, maybe something like that. If not, it was more than that. And and so he had hit me up on Instagram like a week or two prior to that and was like, hey, do you want to come onto my birthday show and run 5 pieces? And I was like, hell yeah, dude. Anytime you get the opportunity to go into a larger seller stream, like, you got to do it. So I had forgot that I had agreed to work for a guy the back half. So at the firehouse, we work a 24-hour shift. So I work the back half, so 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. So I wrote him back and I was like, dude, I totally forgot this. I was like, if you can get me on before 8 p.m. at 7:30, I can do a quick 5 pieces and get on out of there. And then I can just get dressed and, go put my stuff on the truck or whatever. So yeah, that's what we did. So I literally just set up upstairs in the bunk room, and and freaking I ran my 5 pieces. It was a blast. There was, however many people were in there, 150 or something like that, maybe. And then at the end, he was like, hey, everybody wants to see a fire truck. So I was like, well, shoot. So I took the dang thing off. I put it in the point of view, so it's like facing away from me. I went over and I opened up the pole holder doors and slid the pole down and walked down the hallway out to the bay and showed them the fire truck and fire engine, and then said bye.
I hate to be like the negative guy. Is this like the total best use of taxpayer money?
Probably, but I wasn't on the. I made explicitly sure that it was before 8 p.m. So I was not on, on the clock technically. Right. Even though we're not supposed to be like really in the building doing anything, but like, it is what it is. I'm sure if this podcast ever blows up and we become ultra famous and then they look back, but by that time we're already like, filthy rich and just like, we're probably not even friends anymore because we all have so much money that like, we just had a big falling out. The fire department will look at this and be like, you did what? And then they'll probably be pretty pissed, but it's okay.
Until then, I think you're fine. It was cool.
Well, I mean, south of France then, right?
Yep.
That was my first thought, but I thought it was a really cool stream and a really good way to engage the audience. They loved it. It was awesome. That's one thing
about when you come into my show is you don't never know. I'll be damn in New Orleans with some freaking, with those beads on, or like, you never know. Like,
were you nervous sliding down the pole though?
No,
you had this, even though with the phone in the hand, you do that all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like, are you nervous to like walk and talk or something? Yeah. Like it's what I mean? Like, you do it enough. It's not
and I don't mean all the fire department questions, but does the pole really save that much time? I mean, a
ton of time, like a lot
of
time. Yeah. I mean, probably like if you were trying your best, it probably saved 15 seconds maybe. Which, I mean, like, doesn't sound like a lot to us. You know what I mean? But like,
if I'm burning in a fire, 15 seconds could mean everything.
You know what I mean? Like 15 seconds is like, and like, we don't slide the pole for everything. You know what I mean? Like, you get a call for somebody that has like a daggone stub toe. We'll just go down the stairs. You know what I mean? But like, anytime that like structure fires happen or like, calls of importance, then like it's just the fastest way to get down. And a lot of it too for us, just 20 seconds. A lot of it too for us is that because I'm like in a big urban city, there's a lot of competition to get to, places like fires that everybody wants to go to. So 15 seconds means, 2 blocks or so, you know what I mean? It means like you getting there first or second or third, you know what I mean? So
I'm learning a lot about fires right now. Competition to get to the fire.
Yes. Highly competitive. Like the most competitive, matter of fact.
So they call out multiple departments to go to the same place?
No, because in my city, we have 1,000 firemen, 70 fire stations. You know what I mean? So it's like if your house is burning, you're basically going to get at a minimum of 4 stations will go to that. You know what I mean? Because you'll get 4 engine companies that are obviously all at different stations. You'll get a couple ladder trucks. You know what I mean? So a lot of people will go to that. So you being there first, especially if it's in an area like you're your district, like what you should respond to first normally. If it's in that district and you're not first, it's like, you know, I don't even know like another comparison. Just like the ridicule that you get for that is, you know, like intense.
I would imagine the hazing.
Yeah.
First on scene takes command, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, initially until the chief gets there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But, and then it's also on the flip side of that coin is if you're going to another district outside of your, what we call our first due district, if you are first into your second due, which is somebody's first, then you have like, you know, you just talk the most shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why the poll saves like a lot of time. It's just in an urban environment, you know, a lot of people are on the job in more rural areas where it might take 10 minutes to get to a fire. You know what I mean? Like when we get knocked out to fires, it's like a couple minutes at most, you know, 2 or 3 minutes at most. So, you know, everything's very concentrated.
So to bring it back to the Whatnot show, did you pick up a bunch of followers?
Yeah. It was like, I mean, I wouldn't say like in some insane amount, but probably got there. Actually, matter of fact, shout out to Gangster Grails. I didn't say. I come back, get dressed, put all my stuff on, start doing like my actual job. Later that night, I look on my phone and it says in the little notification thing that I got $50 tips sent to my dang profile, and I was like,
wow.
What's this? I was like, that's never happened. So I was like, well, I've also never been on a live stream together with somebody. So I was like, what is this? So I go in there and the guy freaking sent me $50. And so I text him and I was like, hey, dude. I was like, well, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I was like, that's like, you know, freaking, you're the man. And he's like, dude, you had a good show, this and the other. And I was like, sick. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, sign me up. I'll run some bangers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, you had some good stuff in that show.
Yeah,
too.
I definitely got cooked on some freaking shit.
Yeah.
But dude, you know what I mean? It was what it was.
I think I put 50 on the Steelers grid, just to throw out a bid. But yeah, you had some cool stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's that, like, you know, definitely for anybody else, like if you get invited to do shit like that with other people that are larger than you, like don't, you know, and everybody wants to save their good shit for their own stuff, or you know what I mean? But like you have to bring out like whatever your top 5 things are, you know what I mean, that you're willing to let go of, like just, you know what I mean? Because like people are gonna be like, dude, this guy, I mean, people already know that about me anyway. Like I'm definitely not afraid of, you know, to run some shit that costs however much money, but you know, just getting the good stuff out there in front of the most eyes is, you know, that's how people will join the show. So
yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about, I want you guys to like go back to when you first started your eBay store, because I'm starting fresh again, just trying to get this other eBay store off the ground. And some of the difficulties that I have ran into for that already, that kind of compare to some Whatnot problems too. But I think the worst part is having to wait to get paid. It's 3 days after it's delivered before they will pay. It's not even like 3 days after you sell it. It's taking forever for me to get any of my money back from this new eBay store. I didn't know that was a thing. Do you guys remember at all like how long it took, or do you?
I just remember, because no lie, today at the thrift, I literally sat there and talked to a guy for 20 minutes who just said the same thing. He just started eBay, and he was like, he was asking me how long it took to get the, you know, basically the instant payment from eBay, and because I totally forgot about not having instant payment, and I was like, dude, it's like what, $1,000 or something like that you got to sell, or it's something.
Is that what it is?
It should say it's like some dollar amount. I think maybe it's $1,000 or something along those lines.
Maybe
then, you know,
I guess I'm not quite to 1,000 yet. I'm pretty close in this new store, but I just didn't. It's also like they want to charge you a fee and get a debit card, and it's like $2 for every transaction, and then
$2.
$2 to get paid early. I don't think that's necessarily worth it. But
well, if you're withdrawing, you know, $50, $100 at a time, it might not. But I keep like a lot of money in there.
In eBay?
Oh yeah, dude. Like
You
like,
just use it as a savings account?
I mean, basically, there's literally there's a lot in there, and
I do the same thing. I don't take the money out.
I
I set it up so it'll send a portion of the money that's in there every month.
Yeah, I don't even do that part. I just do all mine is just like whenever I want to, and so it just because we have Whatnot and we have Depop, and so that money is just like basically all the money that kind of revolves, I guess, in a way. And then eBay is just like it just sits there, and whenever I'm like, dude, I want something sweet, then I just take it out of there, like
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad deal, paying $2 to get it. But I guess it's like 1 to 3 days transaction time. The way that I have it set up to pay out daily, I actually got to use mine to pay my bills. So and I definitely don't want as much fees as I already pay. I don't want to pay any more.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It should tell you at the very bottom of your eBay profile when you go into your new one. If you go all the way to the bottom, it'll tell you like your seller limit, right, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I think if you click on that, if I remember correctly, it'll go in there, it'll pull up another screen and it'll tell you that it's like 3 months, or $1,000 or something like that, whichever comes first to get that instant payment, or whatever the dollar amount was. I think it was $1,000, maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even care about instant payment, but 3 days after it delivers,
after delivery,
to release the payment,
and
then it's still going to be 1 to 3 days after that for it to actually hit your bank account. So you're like,
I mean, you're looking at like 2+ weeks from like sale to pay. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I can see they don't really trust people when they first start, and you got to build up a little bit of trust with eBay.
It'd be nice though if you could almost connect your account like a behind the scenes, you know what I mean? To where like people don't know that this eBay is actually Hat House 79, but you get the Hat House 79 trustworthiness. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. The other part of having a brand new eBay store was I'm a little more, what's the word? Brazen on my customer service.
More than
bringing that over from Hat House, are you?
No, on Hat House, I'm just like, I don't know what's a good word for it.
Yeah, you're a little brazen.
Yeah,
he's gruff.
Mary said I'm an asshole. But
he's a little rough around the edges, but we're sanding him down.
I mean, with 15 to 17,000 feedbacks, and I'm not really worried about that one negative, but I still try to take care of anybody. I'll give anybody a refund that wants to send something back that doesn't like what they got. But and I've already encountered kind of the, they're almost, people are looking for something wrong with the listing to buy it just to cause you a problem. And I had whether this item that I sold was an elite sport, and it wasn't an elite. There are two different kinds of earbuds. And so this person buys the earbud, and of course I take a picture of right on the product where it says it's an elite sport, and they get it and they wanted just the elite, and so they're automatically fishing for $15. On Hat House, I would have said, I'm happy to take the return, but on this one, I'm like, I don't have any karma built up, or I don't have any good feedback built up yet. I only have two positive feedbacks, so go ahead and give the guy their $15, and then you still got to kind of hope, hey, I hope this guy's not going to give me negative feedback, because they still could give you negative feedback even after you give them their money, or give them $15. And did I mess up? Yes, I messed up. It wasn't titled exactly right. The pictures were right, but I guess that's the other thing. Just trying to, when you have a new store, is trying to walk the line of customer service, and you just get a lot of people that you almost feel that are trying to take advantage of you just because they think that you're new and you haven't really done eBay before.
I think that people do that all the time. I think that if you put an extra thing or leave a thing out on a title, but if you go through the photos, you know exactly what it is. You know what I mean? I feel like people purposely buy it just so they can get it and then say X, Y, and Z, and they can get money back, or
Oh, there's definitely a lot of people fishing for a few dollars back.
Yeah.
Let me get the
It's
item.
like, dude, I've never bought anything on eBay and like not went and looked at all the photos. You know what I mean? And if it said, daggone whatever it says in the title, and then the photos don't say that, then maybe I'll message them like, hey, does it like, are the photos jacked or is the title jacked? And because I like what's in the photos, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like whatever, you know what I mean? Like
I sold you exactly what I took pictures of. I don't know what else you were expecting me to send you if you thought I was going to send you something other than I took pictures of. But it is wrong, and I don't know.
To interpretation.
Yeah, and let us know, guys.
And hustlers.
Yes. Let us know, guys, what are your kind of just starting in eBay? What have been kind of your biggest issues or problems that you ran into? I'm kind of interested in hearing what other things I haven't thought of about starting a new eBay store, the struggles I might have in the coming months.
Mm-hmm. And it's so strange too, because you obviously have, tons of experience already. So it's not like you're actually new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like probably for Rob and I, when we started our eBay stores, we're actually new. So it's like all of these things that happen, or, stuff you run into, or having to wait for the money or whatever, you know what I mean? Like all of that was like, oh, we're just happy that the little bell rang and it said that somebody bought our crap. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, you know what I mean? Like when I sold like a freaking SpongeBob mug or something like that, was the first thing I ever sold, dude. And you would have think Amanda's like, dude, you'd have thought that you just, made $1 billion. Like, I was it was $11, dude. And I messed up the shipping so bad that I ended up having to pay like $3 on the entire thing because it cost me way too much to ship it. And I was like, but I was just so stoked that somebody that I went out, got something, and somebody somewhere else in the world wanted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it's a weird stitch, I guess.
Yeah. Donnie says mostly frustrated with the lowball offers. And on this new store, I took somebody's advice from a couple of shows ago. We were talking about setting up the auto decline. And so I went with 30%.
Right.
The only problem is, what if they offered 31% less? Would I have taken that? Probably. So it's just hard.
Yeah, you got to draw the line somewhere. You got to set your line somewhere.
I think 30% is pretty reasonable. And I think most people that are under...
damn reasonable. Mine's set at 20.
Is it?
Yep.
Do you have yours set?
Yeah, it's set for auto decline. Anything below 20% offer. See ya.
I ain't got one of those. if somebody wants to offer me $1, I just want to see it.
Yeah, see if anybody's actually interested.
Yeah, because I mean, dude, there's things that it's happened. It's happened this week where there's stuff that I have for that I bought probably in like the first week or whatever that I ever started doing any of this, that I'm like, it's worth okay money, $30-$40 or whatever. But like somebody sent me like a $15 offer on this thing, and I was like, yeah, sure, because I'm like, dude, I've had it for over a year. I clearly, it's obviously not the greatest thing of all time. So like $15, beat it. Absolutely, I'll take that. So
what's keeping you, Rob? What's keeping you from doing that? From turning that off and looking at every offer?
I don't know. Now that Mikey says that, I might do it.
I'm pretty sure
Aaron,
you have sent me offers, as a matter of fact. Have you not?
I have sent you offers.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm pretty sure.
I sent you both an offer, and I was promptly declined, and I thought those were very solid offers.
Oh, I freaking!
How do you beat $4.37? Come on.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Darren, what's up, dog?
DA's in the chat.
We
got the DA.
Yeah,
we got Darren. Flipper Dude. We got Donnie. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my grandmother should be watching this so I just want you guys to know, keep the language to a minimum. I have a sweet grandma, dude. She should be watching.
You're asking us to keep our language in check.
What are you insinuating?
Real rich. It's real rich.
What are you insinuating?
All right. So Rob's gonna knock off the best offer. He's gonna see it all. How much stuff do you think you have in your eBay store that's over a year old, Rob?
None. Nothing's over a year
Really?
right now. Yep.
When did you start your eBay store?
Less than a year ago.
So, do you have like a markdown strategy for your store? Do you?
Yeah, I do. You know, I kind of pop in there with every so often and look at what's stalled, and I might do the D-list, relist kind of thing. But most of the time, I'll just drop the price of like 10% and see what that does. So you really just kind of the old cast and bobbing it up and down, see what you get.
Right. Yeah. So I have the best offer on. I don't really have any other bells or whistles since I don't have an actual store on this eBay store yet. Because I don't I do have promoted listings, and I thought that you had to have a store to have promoted listings, but I was pretty stoked that I don't have to have that. So
No, I don't think so. I think they'll let anybody pay them.
Yeah. They'll do anything for that money.
It's just like what? Not in the show promotion.
I know that if you get relegated or whatever it's called, you can't promote shows. If you fall under the, whatever the store status is or whatever.
Yeah, I was talking to this guy on Whatnot, and he had a bunch of stuff, and we were just talking about, well, try to sell some of it on eBay. And he was like, well, I sold on eBay for a little bit, but he said nothing would sell. I said, did you try to promote your listings? And he's like, well, I can't promote my listings anymore. And I guess because he's probably below standard.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's the way that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Do not cancel orders, boys. That's how you
do not.
I've never done it. I've never had mine fall below, but I know somebody, and you canceled too many of those orders because you sold it somewhere else or whatever, and freaking
canceling is the worst. That catches up with you the fastest. It's better to send the wrong thing, or send them a can of Coke, or send them something, and then give them their money back, or take the negative feedback, or just send it to them and then give them their money back as soon as you send it and say, I got something mixed up.
Everybody that I've done that with is like super cool. Like I literally just did it today. Like I had that red monkey hat that I bought from you.
Yeah.
Right. That's what's called, Red Monkey. The Red Monkey Los Angeles.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Anyway,
are you getting your hat houses mixed up?
No, it's I'm pretty sure it's called Red Monkey Los Angeles. They actually sell pretty good, but it's like
I sell a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, you do. And so I already had one. So when I bought yours, I just threw them in a lot of two. And the one that I've had forever, I know I've had it. And then the one I bought from you, I don't know where it is. So he bought it. I spent a day looking for it. Can't find it. And so I sent him the one hat, shipped it, and then like right when I ship it, I sent him all his money back. And I was just like, hey man, I was like, to be honest, I straight up have no clue what this other one is, but I'm sending you this other one for free. You have all your money back and it's already on its way to you. And he wrote back, he's like, dude, thank you for being so nice. I was like, that's awesome. And I'm like, yeah.
It's 10 times better way to do it than to cancel that one too.
Yeah.
And or send them something better than or occasionally, since I have so many hats, I'll just say, hey, is there something else in the store? Maybe it's $5, even $10 more than what you bought. And is there a hat that you want? I'll send you that hat in its place. Anything to keep from the cancel.
Yeah. Oh, dang, dude, that was an absolutely professional move right there.
You wouldn't even know if you were watching on YouTube how well I use my mute button.
Yeah. Somebody else, on the other hand.
We should get something though. We've had no bings, bong, bangs, or otherwise.
Oh, that's literally awesome, dude.
Just chickens.
That is so awesome.
That's Earl. Yeah. Earl had to tell you something, Mike. He was not happy with that comment.
Dude.
Donnie says he has auto posture now. I didn't even know. I don't know what auto posture is.
I think it's probably
it's Poshmark's cross lister. Yeah, it's Poshmark's cross lister.
Yeah,
so they're
Amanda-
so desperate to get people to list on their site that they made their own thing to take eBay listings from.
I have no idea.
I don't know how it works, but
No
I think
clue.
if you're on,
I know there
Posh,
are
you have
companies out there.
Poshmark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amanda just got Vendu like last week.
Vendu is the best one that I've ran across.
Yeah,
It is really good.
Vendu's
she's
pretty
doing
good. You can
it
do all of
to-
them.
Yeah, all of it. She's doing it to all of them, and then it automatically delists from whichever one. And I mean,
Plus
it's
collector is in the house.
collector. Was that it?
Vendu actually is working with Whatnot as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're the
I've-
only ones I think right now.
It's like $20 or $30 a month. I've thought about doing it. It's a really
list
easy
too
way.
much. You list way too much because Amanda's is $29.99, I believe, per month, and that's I believe it's 200 listings. That's the cap, and then you can go to $49.99, I think, which is like, maybe 400 listings or whatever. And then I think $70 a month is unlimited listings.
Yeah,
That's
they have
all.
you got tiers. Yeah,
Yeah,
You gotta,
but for you, obviously, you would need you'd need unlimited because you list 50 things per day.
I think the way I would use it is I think I would just use it to fill some Whatnot shows. And maybe instead of having to take that hat back out of eBay inventory, just cross-list that hat and put it into auctions and then go pull all those hats for the auction that I'm going to do.
yeah, 'cause if
I
you
don't-
sold it would pull it off of eBay for you.
Right. And then maybe just do it that way, not like try to cross-list 4,000 items.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of cross-listing in the past, and inevitably it just gets messed up. No matter how good Vendu had the automatic delister, but it's still, even with things with quantities and stuff, we would miss stuff every now and then. But
I tell you the way I've been doing it is my wife, when she rage quit, Whatnot, automatically went to Macari and made 2 sales that night for the stuff that she actually had in the show. So she's on the Macari train. So anything I want to put on Macari, I give to her.
She's the cross-lister?
She listed in her Macari account, and anything she wants me to put on.
Are you paying her
eBay,
$29.95 a month?
He's probably paying her a couple $1,000 a month. If she's anything like mine, dude, it's about $5,000 a month. Dude.
Mama's got her own paycheck. She's fine.
DA, no, it's this Thursday. It's like the longest wait. He asked if our bins opened up yet. It's been like the longest wait ever to our bins down the road opening up. I can't wait to go.
Yeah, he's freaking talking about it's like Christmas. It's like Christmas in dang April or May.
Speaking of Christmas, the collector said thanks for the Jesus tea fired up.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Did you just buy it for me right now?
You had a couple of nice ones in this last show you just did tonight.
Yeah. I probably only got through about half the stuff because I was reading the chat so much it didn't go as fast. But cool, dude.
Flipper dude, I would say
for buying.
no. I did not crunch any numbers before selling on Whatnot. I just went full force into it. But when I started, it was almost 2 years ago. There was really nobody there, so it was wide open spaces for me.
Yeah,
in the golf category, that is.
That's a song, dude. What song is that?
Wide
open space.
Spaces.
Oh, I love that song, dude. I'm about to listen to that right after this.
Don't give me a copyright strike.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Miranda Lambert or
whoa, what? Absolutely not, dude. Who sings that song?
Who?
Hey,
Dixie
Siri, who
Chicks.
sings that
Dixie
Wide Open
Chicks.
song?
Chicks.
Dixie Chicks.
The Chicks, dude. They're not
The Chicks.
no more.
You
dude.
can't say Dixie anymore?
No,
No,
you can't say it, dude.
they actually changed their name.
Yeah, it's just the Chicks now.
The Chicks now. Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Now,
Isn't that almost as bad? You can't
No.
call women chicks
Steven?
anymore, can you?
they can call themselves that. And Steven, you need to apologize. Okay, publicly apologize right now for saying that they're the Dixie Chicks. Okay.
Not sure that I can make it.
It just rolled off the tongue.
No, Flipper dude. To answer you, no. You won't, and you shouldn't expect to make as much and it's been a kind of a theme that we've had on most of our pods is whatnot is for that fast nickel where eBay is for the slow dime. So a lot of what the three of us will do is stuff that we deem is a sub eBay margin. We'll take to whatnot and make that quick buck. Whereas, the high dollar stuff we're definitely going to put on eBay. So
yeah,
that's the theory that we've use on our stuff.
Yeah, I think we're kind of in the boat is if we can get it, we try to find the stuff that's close because we know sports hats, typically really good sports hats, are within $5 or $10 usually. And I mean, if it's a $30 to $35 hat on eBay, then you're going to get 25, maybe 20. And there's all sorts of items out there that you could do that way. But there's also $3 hat on whatnot, or a $15 to $20 hat on eBay may not be the best thing to run, unless you're just trying to get rid of it as fast as you can.
Or you're trying to build a name. You could be trying to build up a name for yourself by you're going to put some decent stuff out there so people don't look at you like you're the junk shop.
Yeah,
and come back. You want them to actually come back and build up that clientele.
There's a lot of them that have gone the wrong way and tried to build their whatnot on selling.
This is a $210 shirt on the internet.
Is it really? You said it was a banger. I didn't.
A $210 shirt on the internet that went for 67, maybe something like that tonight.
Yeah.
So, that's just how.
Hey,
you can.
It's no Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, there can't all be chili peppers. You know what I mean? But so it's, I don't know. I try to do, obviously the flipper hasn't been on whatnot. I try to do as much of both as I can. Like I do, there's stuff that you buy just for eBay. You know what I mean? Like you buy, like a good example is 2 weeks ago, speaking of bolos, 2-3 weeks ago, I got a 100% cashmere Polo Ralph Lauren women's sweater, right? And it was literally basically brand new without the tags. It sold in 2 days on eBay for $100, right? Obviously, you're not going to put that on your whatnot shelf. You know what I mean? It's like you'd get like $2 for it or something like that, probably. You know what I mean? But just like Steven said with hats, like if I ran this Jags hat, it might be a $120 hat on eBay. You're probably going to get close to $100 for it on whatnot. And same thing with like good shirts. You know what I mean? If you pay a right price for it, it might be $200 on eBay, but who knows how long it would take to sell this exact one for $200. So if you get it for the right price, we talked about this a month ago, but if you get it for the right price, to get $70 for a $200 shirt ain't that bad if you don't have to wait for however long. You know what I mean? Like,
especially if the shirt costs you $1.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, there's just because there's so many. It's this one. It's this Forrest Gump. But the tag is like, it's a special tag. The Stanley DeSantis tag. It's like a highly desirable tag. And so that really the only reason I didn't go more for me, I believe, is because I just got it yesterday. And so I typically like to preload. If you are going to do whatnot and you are going to preload, having the shop preloaded, I think 3 days minimum in advance is your best bet, especially if you have $200 shirts. You know what I mean? The further out, not 6 months, but the further out a good couple days that you're going to have, $100 items plus on there, you're going to get closer to that eBay comp, in my opinion.
If you get to that 3 to 2 day range prior to your show, that's when people start looking, because they're surfing through.
I love 3 days
category to see what's coming up.
Yeah. 3 days is good. Like this got listed 4 hours ago. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it still went for okay money, but it was, you know what I mean? It's like, if that was listed 2 days ago, I bet you it would have crossed $100. You know what I mean? So then that's just on me because like,
and it's also Whatnot's also the advantage there is the less fees.
Yeah.
That we pay.
Yeah, for sure.
Versus what you pay at eBay.
Yeah. I had no idea that was a $200 shirt.
Yeah, it's like $210.
That's crazy.
Now you do.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of
the more you know, Star go across.
Yeah, like the USA Thunders, high dollar, like the starter jackets up there are over $100. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like, but just like they said, is that you can take your bullshit and definitely put it on Whatnot for sure, but you got to have things that people are like, oh damn, like I really want this. You know what I mean? Like you got to have those things too, because people will stay around for bullshit and they'll buy bullshit, but you got to have stuff that people look forward to as well, that they're like, oh damn, I can't believe that he's putting this on here, or you know what I mean, whatever. And like I feel like that's a good way. People will wait for that one item and probably end up buying 1, 2, or 3 items before you get there. You know what I mean? So
Darren's got a good question for us.
Excellent question from the DA.
Go ahead.
How do you start Whatnot if you don't have a following? Because if you run good stuff, you're going to lose your shirt because you're not going to have the audience. How can you build one? Almost everybody has taken their lumps on their first few shows, and it's just something that you can't really get around. I don't think I would have like the premium stuff when I first started. I definitely wouldn't. I mean, if you're, I wouldn't do $100, $200, $300 stuff when I first started. I mean, try to give people great deals in the $3 to $5 sell on Whatnot, and they could flip it for $20 to $25, and try to get the customers that way. But it's preloading too, and that's always going to get you more customers and more people in your show, and you can
do that time.
Yeah, and preload that show and push it back if you want to. If you don't have enough traffic in that show or enough people alerted or enough pre-bids, then push the show back a few days. I think I would probably, if I was just starting, I would preload a show with 30 good items, $20 to $40 ish if they were eBay items, and then throw in a little bit of junk here and there. But I would preload it and then see how many people are interested in my items, how many bells or alerts have been set, how many pre-bids there are. Yeah. And if it's not what I want, then push the show back 3 or 4 more days, and then 3 or 4 more days.
The biggest thing I would say is the allure of Whatnot for most people is the community aspect to it. So get yourself in other shows in the same category and make friends, speak, talk, chat all the time, be upbeat, try and get yourself involved with many shows that are going on. And then in that case, you'll get people start following other people and tell them, hey, I like you. I'm gonna drop you a follow. Hit me back, would you? And you'll build like that. And then eventually you're going to start telling people, yeah, I'm going to have my first show. I'm thinking about selling. And then, if you become friends or acquaintances with sellers, they'll be like, you got your first show coming up, let everybody know. And then you'll get people to follow you like that. I mean, you've got to become part of the community that you want to sell to.
I have actually a pretty different take on it, frankly. Like, I agree with Steven on most things, but on this one, I don't necessarily agree. I think pre-list, yes. Whenever that show is to start the show. Like, this is me personally. I
kind of agree with you because I hate
we can do it right now
back.
because you have thousands of followers. People always show up. We can do it now because we usually stick to the time of the show. But if it's your first show, I don't think it's the best idea to push it back.
You're going to remember that DA pushed his show back 3 days.
No, but it's just like people,
in a month.
Might. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, because this is the thing that's happened with me a couple times is that there have been things that have been loaded that I have pre-bid on, like Jags jackets. You know what I mean? And like some people it might be payday. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like when that show's going to start, it might be, it might be payday. So they're down to spend $100 on that jacket. But if you push it back until like, the 10th or something like that, well, bills have started to hit and you know what I mean? So on and so forth. So like, it just like, sometimes you'll just get a notification and it'll be like, you bought some shit. And it's like, from when? And it's like a show that's literally been pushed back like 2 months, dude. I pre-bid on something. And I'm like,
there is a really big seller out there that's pushed their show back like a year now.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of people do it, and then I've seen it where the show finally comes, and there's literally hundreds of bookmarks and 15 people in the show.
I just think it's like losing track of it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think not
get tired of it.
It's not a horrible idea, but it's just like for the first bit, you have to learn this that you're gonna take lumps, dude. There's no way you're gonna jump into this thing off the rip.
You're gonna get beat up a little bit.
Murder it. Like, you know what I mean? Unless, like, I don't know. There's just, it's gonna be hard. And the second thing is that, remember, your first show, if you come out with premium stuff, so like, just say it's hats. If you come out with premium hats and you're selling all of the multi-$100 hats and you have 100 of them, and then your next show, you can't follow that up with the same thing. Well, dude, they're going to be like, why are you trying to sell me this Adidas strap back when last show you had all of the sweetest shit? You know what I mean? So you have to, if your sourcing ability, but if your sourcing ability is great and you can, and you're once a month or whatever it is, you can get 100 absolutely stellar hats, then that's fine. But you got to be able to, you have to start where you're able to maintain it. You know what I mean? And it'll get better as time goes on because we all learn new ways to source. We all meet people, so on and so forth. But, But the thing is too, is that I was in one today. There was a girl I've never seen before. She had like 20 something solds, I think. I was in her show just a little bit ago and she was selling hats and she had like 35 straight bangers, like shark tooth, the whole, all of this stuff that goes for a lot of money. And she had like 60 people in there. And which is cool, but it's like the next one though, like, are you able, I mean, can you always do that? So it's, you have to try to find, you got to
one other thing I would suggest is while you're into other shows, when you see people asking about particular stuff like that you may be selling, take a screenshot of that, share your show with that person. Say, hey, I'm having a show. Doesn't have to be anything dramatic. You don't have to sell them on the share. Just send it over. Say, hey, I'm having a show. I noticed you like this kind of stuff, so hope to see you there.
Yeah, data collection on this side is a pretty big deal. And once you start getting some people, I mean, it's what all the big tech companies do. They're all after your data, right? And so as a seller, we are kind of too. We know we have to have repeat customers and know the customers that we're going back after. You have to have a list of customers, and all the best sellers know. And there's a lot of sellers out there that know if they pick up an item, who they're going to sell it to before it's even sold. And because they know their customers so well and they understand what their customers want.
If you pick up a high front golf visor, who's buying it?
Brody boy.
Brody.
Every time.
Brody boy. Like this, look. Just like that. Sellers and what they like.
Yeah.
Buyers and what they like.
Yeah, you guys are so much more professional. Dude, I am absolutely lost. I don't even know what that was that you just showed. Absolutely no clue what you just showed. I'm like, that's gotta be some of them, like one of them sheets. Like, good Lord, dude. A spreadsheet and fired up finds is like daggone oil and water.
Mac and cheese.
All right, let's
rice and beans.
We're not gonna make it to Bolos.
We can't.
We are 54 minutes into this podcast. We appreciate everybody's hanging out with us. Definitely appreciate that. We do want to talk about some Bolos before time gets away. Fired Up had a couple in here. 2 jackets. Where did you get this? Let me make sure I got the right one here. Of course. Oh, this Mickey jacket.
Oh,
Y'all see that?
yeah. So, because I couldn't take a screenshot of the other one, but it ends up actually selling for 180, I believe, is what it actually sold for. That was my listing price. But yeah, I got it from one of my buddies.
For people in Podland, exactly what are we looking at?
Oh, it's a Mickey Unlimited, the tag, and then it's like a Letterman jacket, like a Disneyland, not Disney World, a Letterman jacket, and it's a 2XL, which is a Disneyland, not Disney World.
Oh, there we go again.
I can hear myself. Dude, my voice is so annoying.
How long did it take to sell?
It took a while. It took probably 4 or 5 months, maybe. Like it wasn't super quick, but I bought it from a guy that he's a reseller as well that goes to the flea market that I go to, and so I went over to his place and bought a whole bunch of stuff from him, and that was one of them. I paid $60 for it, I believe. So I was gonna put it in a Whatnot show, and then before
That's probably
the
about
show,
what it went for on Whatnot.
yeah, before the show, it sold. So I was like, and there's not a ton of things that I put in my Whatnot shows that I actually have listed on eBay. They're like virtually none, but that and there's a couple things that I have that I'll pull off of there. But yeah, that was a good one.
All right, I'll get used to this. All right, the next one's going to be the Yamaha jackets. I just want to show that. Share screen.
What's the song?
There it is.
So this one is Amanda and I got this one from a thrift store in Georgia, and I paid $15 for it. It sold for I think it did sell for 150, or something very close to it, 130. It's something really close, but anyway, yeah, and it's actually cool because in the photo you see that there's two jackets. The one on the bottom actually zips in to the one up top, so it turns into just one like big jacket, like in the second photo. And but yeah, so and I only reason I knew of that, I didn't look it up or anything. I knew of that because I had two Yamaha racing jackets that I found at the flea market beforehand, that both of them sold for $70 each on eBay. And so, but they weren't like this one that had the jacket inside the jacket. So Yamaha racing stuff like does super well, very, very, very well. And it sold
super fast.
Incredibly fast. It sold in like a week or something like that. So yeah.
Did you have a good comp on that thing, or were you
no? I didn't even look
making up your own price?
I don't remember if I found the exact one or if they were just one similar. Were in the $100-something range. I don't remember exactly, but I got it on a whim just because of like my prior experience with the Yamaha. So that stuff's really good though.
Yeah, even the vintage Yamaha hats do awesome too. If you can ever find those, $50 to $60 easy.
Yeah.
Let's see. What did I bring to the table? I don't even remember.
Uh-oh. No memory.
Let's look at. Oh, I had a couple of jackets too. Check out this area jacket.
Oh, wow.
It was a flame resistant, and it even had some company name on it still, and it still went for over $100. Was $115 for area FR jacket. If it wouldn't have had the embroidery on it, would have probably been closer to $200, $150 to $200, and it wasn't vintage or anything special like that. But the jackets definitely have been some of the highest price point stuff that I've had lately.
Where'd you find that one at?
From a guy that sends me jackets.
Oh, okay.
He's got a jacket guy now too.
Got a jacket guy from the place where I get my stuff.
Nice.
It wasn't anywhere special. I wish I could have went out into the wilds and found it. What else? Oh, have you ever found anything Barbour?
Never heard of it.
Really. I find some hats sometimes, barber hats. This was a barber jacket.
How do you spell it?
Barber.
Oh.
It's usually
BARBO, yeah.
green like this, and then it has it usually has like a corduroy lining. You'll see it on the cuffs, whether it's around the collar or the
The
sleeves.
waxy finish, yeah.
Yeah, the silk. It's called a silk oil. Yeah, waxed cotton and they're really known for these jackets right here. Great
Like a
brand.
hunting
Even if you find it in hats, I mean, you're looking at a $40 to $50 barber hat usually, unless it's.
It is BARBOUR, by the way.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a great brand right there.
Yeah, I never heard of that. That's sweet.
And see if I got another you may not have ever heard of.
Oh, Donnie has one of those.
Donnie has a barber jacket.
And he wears
they're
it
great.
often.
Oh, y'all probably want to see this. I sold this Mack truck hat for $60 on this one. I had it like 80 to 100. I took the $60 offer.
Right.
This one could have easily gone for 100 if I would have waited another few months on it, but I took the $60 offer on this one. These old denim, Mac does really good anyways, but the old denim hats are really hot right now. They're selling for really good money.
I can see the old boy driving a truck, Mack truck with the suspenders, that hat on. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely desirable right now.
Like he broke something.
Yeah, let me share one more. What else we got?
Every time the screen moves over to my left, I'm like, what is that? But it's just us.
Check out these earbuds. Have you ever heard? And I sold these cheap too in my new eBay store. And they're actually like $120, $130 earbuds they go for. Have you ever heard of Bowers and Wilkins?
Never.
No.
You haven't, Rob? I think they're kind of a Japanese brand.
Oh, really?
Or they have a Japanese following, but a really great brand of earbuds right here. I didn't have any idea that these were $100 earbuds or they're a $100 brand out there. Be interested to know if anybody else out there knew of this brand.
Yeah, Bowers and Wilkins. I've never heard of it.
I'll send you some more picture of the earbuds too. They look a little different, but really, if you ever happen to come across some earbuds and you see these kind of silver tops like this,
Oh, it's a British. They're a British company.
They're British.
Founded in 1966.
Dang.
By John Bowers and Roy Wilkins.
There we go.
I had no idea that they were even. I didn't know there were $100 earbuds besides Apple AirPods. Really out there.
The more you know.
Yeah.
I did pick up a lot of cameras this weekend at the flea market. I didn't do great on hats or tees or anything like that. I got a couple of, some middle of the road stuff, and I mean, it's probably a bolo that everybody knows about, but yeah, old cameras and digital cameras, not every single one, just like anything else. There's obviously a ton that are absolutely worthless, but like the good Canon, like the Canon Power Shot, or anything that's a Power Shot, Cyber Shot, like all of those are super good. I paid $100. I got 15 or 20 cameras, and there's a couple of them in there that are like super high sell-through rate, $200 cameras. So yeah, like if you run across cameras, those are great. My general rule, without looking,
why do people want cameras? I don't get it. I had to
buy one.
I don't get it either, but I've seen them.
Not even buy one. Well, I guess technically, but I sell them so much or whatever. So my little sister last Christmas is like, hey, for Christmas, I want a digital camera. And I'm like, shit, dude. I'm like, okay. So one of the freaking really good, like $250 I think it's Canon Power Shots or whatever that I found at the flea market for $5 or whatever that I was gonna flip for some good money. I sent it to her and she like just takes pictures with it all the time. Like it's
Really?
something about the younger generation is like, everybody's like reverting basically. Like vintage clothes are hot, old hats are hot.
Just a nostalgia thing.
Yeah, just the nostalgia thing, which is funny because like my sister's she's 19 years old, so it's like, that nostalgia, she'd be like 10 or so, what I mean? Like she wasn't even old enough. Like I don't even know. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird. I don't know why I would ever have a real use for a camera like that.
I never would, but they sell incredibly fast for like really good money. That if I don't look them up,
what about Polaroids? Are all Polaroids doing any good?
Yes, but the only problem is that I don't ever put the time in to actually test them. So there's a guy on eBay, Retrospec or something like that. I think he buys them from me for untested for $25. You know what I mean? So my thing is I never buy them for more than $5 because I know that he'll buy them for 25 plus ship, and it's like instantaneously. But if you get digital cameras and you forgot your phone or some crap, or you can't look it up, or you don't have time, the rule that I go by is if it has a lithium battery in it, like not a AA or AAA or whatever, if it has like an actual lithium battery in it, it's usually like $50 or more. And the megapixels, the higher the number of megapixels, the more money it'll be. So if you go and get a camera that's 8 megapixels, it's probably not going to be the greatest. But if you go and get a 16 megapixel, it'll probably be pretty dang good. So that's just like if you don't look it up and you like somebody wants $2 for something and it's just like who cares if you lose out on $2 anyway. It's a good general rule, at least that I found.
So no like AA or AAAs. You want the lithium battery.
So, yeah, there's some, but there's definitely some that take AA's and AAA's that are good, definitely. But if just in a wide angle view of it all, if you only had to pick without looking anything up, the highest dollar ones, you want the ones that have like the actual
rechargeable batteries.
Yeah, so
they're usually like flat.
Yeah, the flat ones. And then I paid $5 on Amazon for this thing. It's a universal charger. You can like move the little the little deals or whatever, and come home, charge the battery up for like 20 minutes, and then if it works, great. And then if it doesn't, then you're out a couple bucks, or you just sell it for parts and you make $10.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, last one. I do have a hat, and I know I talk about this brand all the time, Gorham Brothers. Check out this bunny. I just thought it was cool.
The bunny cap.
The bunny Gorham Brothers, and it was like
is that like terry cloth?
No, more like Sherpa. It's like it was a Sherpa bunny for $60 on the Gorham Brothers. It was really cool. I really like that one.
Oh, I would have gave you 62.
Would you?
Dude, I don't know if this is a because I never looked it up. I still have it. I just got it today. But K Products, obviously the hat brand, and then Terra Seeds. They obviously sell for good money, like the K Products trucker hat with a Terra Seed patch on it.
Yeah.
I found a jacket. I found a K Products made in the USA jacket with a Terra Seed on the front. So I haven't looked it up. It might be worth $0, but I just thought it was cool because I know the hat.
I'm gonna bet it's not worth $0.
Darren said Future Farmers of America FFA jackets are selling really well. The corduroy ones, and that's something I could find in Oklahoma here quite a bit. I would think if I got out and actually did it, get out into the world.
Yeah, dude, you will. And Donnie said Donnie said that his bolo is the Polo Skull Crossbones strap bag. He said he found 3 new tags yesterday, and one just sold 5 minutes ago for $78.
$78.
Oh, lead Donnie. Let me hold like $10, dude.
One down, 3 to go.
Payday. That's freaking good. That's good money right there.
Yeah.
Especially on stuff that you don't have to test or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like,
bravo.
Yeah. Fun shows.
Rob had one.
Oh shit, sorry.
Oh, a bolo?
Yeah.
I'll give you one. I got a couple actually. Check this out. Anything with that logo on it.
That's Pebble
The
Beach.
vintage.
By no.
I had to pull this down because you guys were all about the jackets today. I don't actually have anything sold because I was on vacation, but so anything vintage Pebble Beach, like this sick thing right here.
Big
It's
old
gonna
North
get you
back.
some big dollars. One other thing I will tell you guys look out for is these ping zeros, these putters right here. They're about a $50 bill every time you can find one. Nobody really knows what the hell they are, but ping collectors. So it's not very hard to get out of other people's hands. You can find them in all kinds of
Yeah, I thought it was like a 1-iron when you first held it
yard
up.
sales. Yeah, no, it's a zero putter. Another thing for the golf fanatics, any kind of little tiny golf bag.
What is that?
It's called a den caddy.
What is
And
that?
typically people it's a tiny little golf bag, big ass mouth, and a lot of people use it as umbrella stands. They put golf balls in it. You'll find them everywhere. This one's kind of a generic one. It is a Burton, so that it's got a little bit of value to it. But I have a tailor-made one. It's in the other room. Hundreds of dollars. That will
Really?
easily be $100 bill. Yeah.
Really?
Golfers are fanatics for these den caddies.
Den. All right.
Yeah.
I've
If you can
never-
find them, especially if you get like a Titleist one, or if you get one of the bigger boys,
Yeah.
they will sell. They'll be at least $100 bill.
I feel like I've seen those with like full of Golf Digest magazines too and stuff.
You
like
probably
that.
have, yeah.
Yeah.
You're used for all kinds of stuff.
Hey,
Or
I-
whatever magazines
I
of
don't
your
want your
choice.
shitty
Mine's
magazines,
obviously
but-
holding the head covers and towels.
That's really awesome, dude. I've done that with T-shirts where they have a purse, and to make it like puffy or whatever, like they shoved a bunch of T-shirts in it, and so
Yeah.
and it was like Michael Kors purse or whatever it was, and I was like I grabbed all like they had like good old shirts in there, and I grabbed all the old shirts out, and I was like I don't want that bag, but I want these T-shirts that were making your bag presentable.
Yeah, and that lady at the yard sale is like, "You don't want my Michael Kors bag?"
No,
Why don't you want my
absolutely.
bag? What am I supposed to do with it now?
I did find a Coach like little crossbody satchel in the trash on Saturday. So that is
umbrella-
$0 to $30 right there, boys. It was
I think that's more of a novelty
Perfect
value
condition.
to that one, Donnie.
perfect condition. Found an umbrella that has a golf iron.
Harley should always sell.
Yeah.
Harley,
Oh, I do.
Harley and Walt Disney
Yeah.
always sell.
If anybody needs a Travis Matthew backpack, hop into my show. Hop into my golf show in a couple of days, because I'll have one and they will run it.
So that's when we'll see you next. Fired up. You got a huge golf show coming up.
I got a show on Wednesday and on Thursday because I'm going to Montana on Sunday. So I'm doing a bunch of shows this week. So because I'm not going to be doing anything next week. Beautiful. That's a beautiful hat, dude.
And Rob, are you going to be back on Saturday? You finally recovered?
Yeah, I'll do something Saturday. But I'm actually going away. I got another golf vacation a week from now, so I'm kind of concentrating on that.
Can we do a little?
We'll do a show Saturday.
Can we do a little fun show ideas? What were you thinking?
Oh yeah, like the way that you did guess what's in the box. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Dude, I
did
did
you
that
like
without
that?
even seeing the notes of this show, dude.
Right?
That was freaking on par.
Did you like it? I mean, would you do it again?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
or
do it
was
again for sure.
Dude,
but like
You
I
didn't
told
think it was
guys,
too distracting?
Yes, it was. That's why, you guys or whoever are my moderators that are there, they obviously won't be able to participate because I'm gonna have to have somebody that
Knows the answer.
that knows the answer, that can and I can sit there and answer the chat too. You know what I mean? But if somebody says it while I'm grabbing something or whatever, and for anybody that wasn't in the show that I just did right before this pod, there was like, people were spamming answers. So it's going by so fast that it's like, you end up.
I don't know if I explained it real well. So Fired Up had this box just sitting behind him, and it just said, guess what's in the box and I'll give it to you, basically. And so people were guessing what was in the box the whole time. And that's one of the things for the algorithm is, right, if your chat is moving, it pushes your show up in the algorithm. If people are in your show and talking, and it's just kind of an algorithm trick, but also it's just for people to have fun.
Yeah.
And hang out. And
and well, so this is why I did that. Like, I wasn't even really thinking about I wasn't really even really thinking about anything. I was thinking about this, is that at the bottom, which I wasn't sure if you could see it all that great, but I wrote, there's a hint to what's in the box in the show notes, right?
Right.
And the reason I did that is because, what's in the box is a dang.
That's the first thing I thought of was 7.
A dead stock,
Flipper,
a dead stock Cincinnati Reds, like wool blend snapback. And so like it was a good thing too. I mean, I just didn't put like a freaking dildo in there, but
I almost guessed that.
Yeah, which honestly I was gonna do that, but then
I'm surprised it wasn't. I'm absolutely shocked it wasn't a dildo.
Yeah, but then I was gonna have to go wash mine, and I didn't feel like doing that. But like the reason that I did that specifically was because nobody reads the show notes. You know what I mean? Like if you notice this, if you guys, what you guys do, write stuff in the show notes, people will ask you about stuff that's in the show notes, or you know what I mean? And so it's like I put in there, these things like there's no cancel, so on and so forth. And so to have a hint in the show notes, they got to go to the show notes. They're probably going to read the like one sentence before the hint anyway. So that way, if they say, hey, I want to cancel something later, it's like, well, buddy, I know you read it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't feel bad. That's literally why I did that.
Very interesting.
You have any great ideas for a show like that, Rob?
No, absolutely not.
What's in the box?
My great idea was adding Earl.
Earl's legit.
Rob has chicken choking is all he's got.
Yeah. There was one.
Every new client gets the chicken choked.
Yeah. I've talked about him before on here, but Broken Bones Display, he runs on Sunday nights normally. Last Sunday he had a wheel behind him, like a Wheel of Fortune wheel, and it probably had 15 things. And
I haven't seen that since like the first days of Whatnot. People used to always do a wheel on Whatnot.
Yeah, so he would just be like doing a normal show or whatever, and then it was like it was maybe a $5 tip or maybe a $10 tip, I can't remember. Then you would get to spin the wheel, and some of them were like, you can choose any item in the auction to be ran at 2 seconds sudden death, or you know what I mean. There was like just all like a bunch of different ones or whatever, and I was like, dude, that's just like a good idea. Because I haven't been on there that long. So I was like, it's a good idea just to have like something else other than just you selling stuff, which is totally fine too. But I just want to like keep trying to do like other stuff,
Yeah, we try to do that, but like they've just kind of really cracked down on the golf guys being able to do shit like that. Like we can't even use the Whatnot wheel.
Really?
Yeah. The rules change every 2 weeks. It's insane, man. It really is. And it's really just a matter of, because there's been, the rules have kind of been stretched, and they don't want to be a gambling site because they get in more trouble for that way. Whatnot doesn't want to get shut down for being deemed a gambling site, and if they get across that line to where you're paying for a chance, then it's a game of chance, and now you're gambling. And so they just kind of stomp all over it for us.
Yeah, for sure. John,
there used to be meal games all over golf.
I want to know what got him $250 profit after it sat for 2 years.
Yeah.
Darren said, thanks for the bolos, for sure, dude. Bolos, I haven't been doing this as long. Rob and Steven have been doing this for much longer, and I'm sure that they'll agree. I think that you can get a bolo if you do this for 50 years. Like there's no way under the sun that you can possibly know every single brand, every single thing.
No.
Like, you know, YouTube is the greatest bolo of all time. Like I enjoy watching resale content anyway. And like, there's so much stuff that I've bought just because I've learned, you know, just from watching or whatever. It's like,
JD, what did you sell?
Kent
welcome
knows
in.
everything, dude. Kent, I need to go spend a week with you, dude. Dude, you need to, open up what is it? The online schools, dude. You need to open up a resale online school, dude.
A game. He sold a game.
Yeah, a game. Oh, it was a game that he sold. Well, like, say the game, dude. Because I want to know. I want to know.
Kent's going to open up a Patreon.
And why was it so expensive? Mardi Gras was off the charts, dude. I was there. There's some guys on YouTube saying why not promotes gambling because of the power giveaways. It's not gambling.
Dude, that Rockstar Flipper, I cannot stand to watch him.
I never even heard of her.
Him?
I've never heard of her.
You've never seen, you watch YouTube?
Yeah.
eBay YouTube all the time and you don't know who Rockstar Flipper is?
Yeah, I've never heard of that girl.
He's like a drama queen. He just, if he heard me talking about him, he'll probably find something to bitch about what I just said and make some big drama about it. He's terrible. Oh.
Rockstar is a
me and Kent are on the same page.
Wiener, dude.
A whining wiener.
Wait, Rockstar Flipper, when this eventually makes its way down to you, Kent said that you're a wiener, dude.
Yeah. Take that on Kent, not me. Yeah, he'll have his lawyers call me or something. He's like one of those guys.
Does he have a lot of subscribers or?
Yeah, he has a lot of subscribers. A lot of people just watch him just to find
like
he's like
the thousands or 100,000 or
I think it's 100,000 probably. Yeah. He's pretty big. I'm surprised
come out
you don't know
bro. I need some clout. I need some freaking clout, dude.
I'm surprised you do not know who he is. He's a pretty big deal.
Oh, dude, I try to watch like the cool guys, dude. Like House, Robin Hood of Goodwill is literally my favorite YouTube channel, probably of all time.
Yeah.
There's 144,000.
Golly, that guy is freaking. That guy, he's doing something. I guess for that many subscribers.
He tries to latch on to whatever drama is out there in the reselling world, and
I didn't know that we had drama
to feed on it. Whether it's I haven't watched a lot of it in forever, but whether it was like, you remember that story about the eBay executives like trying to kill somebody or something like that, and he somehow got in the middle of that, and he got in the middle of, who. Well, we all know who Tekken Sports is. I mean, like the GOAT, him. And when he was with what's that other guy's name that he was with on the West Coast? He got in the middle of their stuff. Chris Lynn, that's who it was. He tried to get in the middle of their stuff and make a big deal out of it. He's just stirring up shit. He's just a shit stirrer. That's what he is.
Yeah, I don't know shit about that, boys. All I know in the resale game is that this is butterflies and rainbows, my guys.
It's awesome. Every day we wake up.
Actually, matter of fact, on the flip side of that coin, Amanda and I are always like thoroughly surprised by like how nice everybody is, like for us locally. You know what I mean? Because like in the fire department, when a new guy comes in, you're kind of standoffish towards him. Like he has to earn, he has to earn his way into our family. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how we treat it. Like you got to prove yourself. So like that's kind of how, like I would expect to be received in a community that I'm just now joining. Is that you got to, you know what I mean? You kind of have to be extra nice or like do whatever. But dude, everybody's been like freaking super like, hell yeah, dude, you're part of us. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, we didn't even earn it. we just freaking I don't know. It's crazy.
All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for this week. We appreciate everyone hanging out in the chat, lively chat today. We really appreciate you guys out there in the podcast world. 5 stars and a good review. We would really appreciate that. We got our first one. we really appreciate more. And all across the globe, they're listening right now. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next week. See you guys.
Thank you guys. I love you
care,
guys. And I would kiss all of you
Take
on
care.
the I'd kiss you right on your freaking pearly red lips, dude.
Awesome, Ken. We'll like to have